Rudy Giuliani told a judge today that he wants to leave bankruptcy protection, potentially opening himself up to having whatever remains of his assets seized by collectors after he was in fact found guilty of defaming 2 election workers. Now, those election workers are supposed to get paid for the damages caused by Rudy Giuliani's behavior, but I do want to be clear, you should not give him any credit for this shocking move because it's likely his way of trying to weasel out of paying damages in the first place. Okay, it's just a different way of doing so. We're gonna get to that in just a moment, but first, all the juicy details. All the juicy details, including what he's been spending his money on, which he's not supposed to be doing because if you're broke and you're going through bankruptcy, you're supposed to be, stopping the spending, okay? Not stopping the steal, stopping the spending. So here's what's happening. So creditors have been essentially trying to enforce the millions of dollars in claims against Rudy Giuliani, including a $148 million claim in damages won by the 2 Atlanta elections workers who were basically defamed by Rudy Giuliani. They sued and they succeeded in that suit. They successfully argued in court last year that Giuliani defamed them after the 2020 elections, essentially claiming that they played a role in election fraud, which they had not. Now, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, the 2 election workers, say the bankruptcy court hasn't even started the process of making them whole more than 6 months since he declared bankruptcy, and that was late last year he did that. Now, creditors have accused Giuliani of flouting bankruptcy laws and potentially hiding his assets, and this is a common thing wealthy people do when they have legal liabilities, but they don't want to pay those legal liabilities. And so you should look into Alex Jones if you want to learn more about that. Yep. Now, they asked a judge to take control of his finances through an independent trustee. Now, despite declaring bankruptcy last year, Amazon purchases and a pretty big payday suggest that Giuliani actually has plenty of cash on hand. Giuliani appears to keep making a bit of money as well, which we live in a funny world, don't we? So he was recently paid $75,000 by a documentary project. So
the third Borat? What
was the name of the guy who did the 1,000 Mules movie or whatever?
Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah, is it Dinesh D'Souza? I have no idea. I don't know what documentary this is.
I think he was able to round up 2,000 mules, actually. I think it was 2,000 of them.
He's even surprised his own lawyers, by the way, with new sources of income, such as a recent deal he signed to promote coffee, but not Too Strong Coffee, a different coffee brand, obviously.
It's too oily coffee, actually. Ugh. I don't like it.
Running hair dye coffee. Okay, he also continued to spend excessively each month on dozens of purchases. So in recent weeks, Giuliani made 40 purchases from Amazon alone. In recent weeks, guys, this isn't like throughout, this isn't even-
It's a lot.
I can't believe this number. So in recent weeks, Giuliani made 40 purchases from Amazon totaling nearly $3,500. How do you spend that much money in just a few weeks on Amazon?
It's the money gets me more than the 40. So my guess would be he's not going to the store. My guess would be he gets virtually everything from Amazon. Everything gets delivered. I don't think he's like walking to the corner store or something.
Yeah.
But the amount of money that he's spending is out of control.
Yeah, so he also bought plane tickets for himself and 2 business associates to fly to Palm Beach and other places. Like, not only is he spending money that he's not supposed to be spending on himself, he's also buying plane tickets for his buddies. He's like, yeah, let's go to Palm Beach, bro. Like, I'm supposed to be going through bankruptcy, but here, I'm gonna pay for your ticket too. Like, it's insane. Thanks for watching. Our audience has helped build TYT into the media giant it is today. Together, we can accomplish anything. Support our work and join us at tyt.com/team.
Look, this is one of the things where I'm sure I, as a peasant and a non-lawyer, am gonna be stupid and ignorant or whatever. But like, we start the story with, they're trying to track down the money to pay off the people he owes. He's paying for plane tickets. Here's a simple question, with what? What is he paying? If it's a credit card or a debit card or something, or a check, take that money. Like, go into his wallet, take out the stuff. How is it up to them to like Sherlock Holmes where he's keeping his money?
Yeah.
He's spending it every day. Log into his Amazon account and see what the cards are and then take the money out of them.
So look,
or lock him up until he provides that money.
You're right in that we are ignorant about what the rules are, and there could be certain protections for an individual's. I mean, look.
I'm sure that there are,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm glad that we're covering this story, because it's a reminder that it was amazing that they got the judgment against him or against Alex Jones in the first place, because generally rich, powerful people like this are able to just while away or like delay the process and everything. But now we're getting a second lesson in how difficult it is to ever actually get the money.
Right.
Okay, when you're pulled over by the cops and they find cash, in your trunk or something, they take it then. Civil asset forfeiture is instant. It's not like, oh, we're gonna figure out the rules and the regulations. They just snatch it. But when it's millions of dollars, suddenly it's a whole procedure.
I know, that's such a good point, John. By the way, he wasn't through with the Amazon purchases, because back in May, he made over 30 separate Amazon orders totaling $2,000. Now, those purchases, we now have more information about, like what was he spending the money on? And mind you, if you are pursuing bankruptcy protection in order to skirt your legal liabilities to people you defamed, you want to be careful with what you're spending your money on, right? You don't want to spend money on frivolous nonsense. Well, he was spending the money on t-shirts, a pack of 6 silk ties, and a tie and pocket square set. Okay, I'm sorry, but when is Cenk gonna have a little bit of this mentality? Okay, like
let's get that man on Amazon.
Cenk, get on Amazon. You could even do a pocket square and tie set. You don't even have to leave your house.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, and like, look, obviously Rudy Giuliani is a fashionista and a style icon.
Right,
he sets the trends, and as we all know, the best ties come in packs of 6. And so I understand, but also he's 1,000 years old. How does he not already have enough ties at this point?
I don't get it. But he's an irresponsible human being. That's all. Like he's
or is he irresponsible, or is he playing out like a Brewster's Millions type situation right now, where whatever money he's left with at the end of this process, they get, so spend it all. What's the difference? You either spend it and get some of the stuff, or they just take it. So he's just gonna spend every cent he can. Plus he could die at any moment. So he's got double incentive to just blow through all his money.
Not a bad point, not a bad point. By the way, he also bought earbuds, anti-shine powder, which I get it, I get it. It's Jergens Natural Glow Instant Sunless Tanning Moisturizer. He also bought that.
In deep bronze.
I would go with the better, like no shade on Jergens. I think sometimes you can get a little streaky. Okay, a little streaky.
I don't know.
I'd go with the Saint-Tropez brand. I think that they do a good job with their self-tanning items. But maybe he shouldn't be spending the money anyway. Maybe he should listen to advice, but he's not.
Maybe Rudy Giuliani shouldn't be aiming for deep bronze regardless.
It's a good point.
Whether streaky or not.
I love that he still has vanity.
Oh, he has so much vanity.
Which is hilarious to me. Okay, he also racked up bills at fancy restaurants in Palm Beach, where he also apparently owns a condo. For dinner on May 9th, he dropped $167 at a restaurant called Brick Tops. The next day, $113 for a meal at Pizza City. For pizza? Oh, okay, or City Pizza. The day after that, another $119 at the Italian joint, is it Bice?
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Honestly, I like to pronounce things correctly.
But let me ask you this: is that a fancy dinner? Because I don't know. You order like like Italian delivery or something for 2 people. I'm getting up in that range actually these days.
I know.
So maybe he's being frugal when it comes to the food.
But get this, John. In May alone, Rudy Giuliani spent a whopping $33,000. In 1 month, he spent $33,000 as he's filing for bankruptcy protection. So understandably, his creditors are like, no, bro. Like you're not gonna pull a fast one on us. We see what's happening here. So here's what they said. Since day one, Giuliani has regarded this case and the bankruptcy process as a joke. Well, it seems like it kind of is a joke. Hiding behind the facade of an elderly, doddering man who cannot even remember the address for his second multi-million-dollar home and claims impending homelessness if he must sell that second multi-million-dollar home. In reality, Giuliani has treated this court, the bankruptcy process, and the committee with utter disrespect and without accountability. Now, Freeman and Moss, the two election workers he defamed, want the judge to throw him out of bankruptcy court, which would allow the team of lawyers to basically pursue his assets so they finally get paid. And today, Giuliani's lawyer actually agreed that was the best path forward. So just hold, because if you're under the impression that like, oh, maybe Giuliani wants to do the right thing, not necessarily. So if the judge agrees with their plan, which Giuliani says in his new court filing, he is now on board with, Freeman and Moss are entitled to take both of his homes immediately in Florida and New York. Their bankruptcy attorney, Rachel Strickland, told CNN. Now, what's in it for Giuliani? Because this sounds like a really good deal for the election workers. Bad deal for Giuliani. He's gonna get his assets seized.
He'll be homeless.
He might be homeless, exactly. Well, his lawyer, Gary Fishoff, says dismissing the bankruptcy case would allow Giuliani to pursue an appeal in the defamation case. He would not be able to pursue the appeal if he continued with the bankruptcy protection like route. And so it could allow him to try some tricky pizzicky financial maneuvering. So for instance, Rachel Strickland, the lawyer for the two election workers, Georgia election workers, said that she wasn't opposed to Giuliani having his bankruptcy dismissed if it meant that creditors could recover. However, she said she suspected that Giuliani would try hustling his brand of coffee and his podcast and deposit the profits in companies outside his estate so that he could avoid his creditors. So there are two things going on here, potentially evading having to give up some of his assets, some of the newer income that he's making, and also he could be doing this to pursue an appeal on the defamation case. So we'll see how it plays out, but I don't believe for a second that Giuliani is trying to do the right thing out of the kindness of his own heart.
No. And it just continues to astound me that there are people who listen to his podcast.
He has a podcast?
He has a podcast and he has coffee. Like I understand
he's
if you're a lib,
the coffee on the podcast.
probably yeah. And you want to watch listen to 2 minutes of it to listen to him fall apart. I understand that, but like a conservative who sits down and listens to an hour of Rudy Giuliani, I just don't get that. We might as well be different species.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.